worked with the devs during Preview Branch and learned all of the ins and outs of the squad system, including how to combine it with other controls to completely automate your army. Here are the 4 most important steps you really need to know. Did you know that you can create up to 7 different types of squads for different functions or to use at different times? For example, melee, archers, elite, or maybe a squire to keep by your side. But how? Many people think if you want to call people to arms, you just hit K. This can dismiss people, turn your reservists to guards, or into companions. And sure, they'll run over and fight. And you can use commands to move them around as a group. But we want much more control and automated prep than this. I want them to get the armor and weapons I want them to have at the minimum level of repair I want, and the type and amount of food that we need for a short or a long adventure. To have maximum control over automation, O is the powerful key that you'll be hitting now. This brings up the Army tab, but how do you create all these unique automated squads? Instead of just going with the ones that the game creates, like companions and newcomers, up here at the top, you can press this button that says Add Squad. Now we have all kinds of settings for what we want our squad to be. You can rename it. I'll make this one Bandit Stompers. Under this section for settings, you have a slider for food. When they ready up, they'll get the amount of food that you have set here, as well as eating to fill themselves up first. I usually say 3. Bandaging threshold is how low their health can get before you want them to bandage themselves. One drawback, they won't get bandages on their own, yet. Durability, you don't want your soldiers going into battle with a shield or a weapon that only has 1 hit left on it, right? So if you increase the amount of durability for their weapons, then they'll only take good ones to go fight. I'll show how this works in a second. The recruit button at the top, when you click on it, it shows your population and comes up with their combat attributes selected in this drop down at the top right. Those with the green shield by their names are marked as reservists and will be called up to fight. For example, if you hit K, or if you just pull up your entire population and hit this call to arms button here at the top. You should decide whether you want them to be a reservist when you hire them based on their skills, as well as choosing what gear preset you want them to have. When you recruit people to a squad, you can just choose the people that are highest in certain skills, such as strength for melee or archery for marksmen. But this is where we'll take a small detour to drastically increase the power of this strategy. While we're in this requirement screen, up here on the top right, instead of looking at combat attributes, choose the drop down of gear presets. The game comes with a few standard presets, and they are fine, but they become much more useful when you make specialized presets. For example, I want my farmers to use a seed bag or a watering pot when they're working at home. But if we're marching across country, I want them to put that down and grab a backpack. Or since I don't want people using a hoe as a weapon, like on my Vanguard Heavy, I can say that they should only use one-handed weapons when they're a companion. I can choose a category, such as one-handed overall, and they'll get the best one available that they can wield, or I can choose a specific weapon for them if I really want to get into the nitty-gritty details of it. If you want a full guide on how to make custom presets, I'll leave a link in the description to a guide that goes over that in detail. But you should set everybody's gear preset up whenever you hire them, whether it's a standard one or one you created yourself. Now that those are set up, you can just scroll through your population and easily see by what presets they have what they're set up to fight as. So just click on the ones that you want in this squad. I hit escape. Now you can see that all of these people that I've chosen are in this new squad I created of Bandit Stompers. If I want to add someone else as a possibility to join this, I can click Add to Reserve. The ones with the crossed swords are already in it, and it says under their name that they're assigned. Everyone else says not assigned. So I can click on them as being assigned now, but when I go back, they're in the reserve, so they're not pulled up right now. If I decide, oh, I need everybody from this group, I can raise the ones from the reserve and they'll run over and join me too. I can dismiss in here for them to all go back and be in reserve. Or I can say, hey, come back here. I wasn't done with you. Once you've gotten your squad selected from their gear presets, you can just be good with that. And that'll work for most squads that you need, honestly. But if you want to get particularly detailed about something, you could go back and look at their combat attributes or whatever stats you want to choose your best people to be in your vanguard or an elite squad or a small group of your best archers and melee for raiding parties. You get the idea. You can create whatever type of group that you want or need, up to 7 different squads. And yes, people can be in more than one squad at a time. By the way, if you like get to the point guides like this, consider subscribing because I have a lot more on the way. But what about items outside of presets, like the kind of food or arrows they pick up? For food, there are a couple things to do. You can have a food storage near where they ready up that has only the high level food if you want. Look at my guide on taming the storage beast for more info on that. I'll put it in the description. Now when they choose food, they go from left to right and top to bottom, and they won't combine cooked and uncooked food types. So place food accordingly for skill XP gain, combat skills, or decreased hunger speed at the front of storage before you tell them to ready up. What about arrows? For one thing, if you get more advanced in the game and you don't want them taking simple arrows but to use the more advanced ones, then make sure that you stop them making simple arrows when you're past that phase. Place an armorer storage or an arrow basket near the staging ground where they're going to ready up, and put a requirement in here that's required to be kept full of only the arrows that you want them taking out for combat, like sturdy or sharpened. Over here under the storage, you can turn off simple arrows, so even if they pick them up while we're out looting, they won't put them in the storage where they're going to be readying up. And require a minimum amount to be in here, so they'll always have the good ones here ready to go when it's time. Until they add the ability to take bandages with them on their own, I keep bandages required in my dump chest takeoff box to grab a few on the way out the door. So call to arms is now easy and with no micromanaging. But first, I told you I'd show you how they won't take broken weapons. Here's Royce. If I look in his inventory, his war pick is down to about 1/4 of health. He's in the melee squad. I'm going to move durability up to requiring 50% so we can look at this one thing. And now I'm going to tell Royce to stock up. Now he knows his weapon is not up to par for what we want to take. So he's going to go and switch it out. He broke his war pick and put it in here to be repaired. They're already repairing it. That was fast. Sometimes it seems they will break it and put it in storage of the armory. But now if I look at what's in his inventory, he got a new war pick that's above the threshold of what I said was acceptable to take with us. Good job, Royce. So to do your automated raising, hit O. And for each squad that you want to come along, hit raise. Remember, if they're part of 2 groups, raise the big one first. Everyone comes over. So I hit raise for everybody. I've already put my food in order. Now I'm going to tell everyone to stock up. I'm using the middle mouse button to go in between the squads. Add our new one just for fun. And they ready up exactly as you've automated them to do. And just to prove that it worked, you can easily check to make sure they did it right. If I hit O, look at the details for any squad. Over here on the right, instead of looking at their condition, I can look at their inventory to see they've all gotten the extra food that I asked them to. I can look at their gear and see they all chose the highest level that I had available. Now they're all set in squads the way that you want. And you want them to remember this automation for next time, right? So when we're done fighting, I'm going to hit O again. And I'm going to hit this dismiss button for each squad to send them back to work. Instead of hitting this X button, because when I hit X, it will disband this squad completely. I'll give you a sneak peek of a quick tip actually, coming up in my next video. When you do get back and all of your enemies have been defeated and everyone's inventory is full, Before you just hit dismiss for everyone to go back to work, point your squad at the stock up again, and they will run to put things away instead of slowly meandering back to what they were going to do. Then hit O and dismiss so they can walk on their merry way. Your entire army and all of your squads are now completely automated and will ready up exactly the way you want them to at the simple push of a button. Want a heads up? My next guide dishes out secret tips and tricks to seriously level up your gameplay in ways you probably don't even know about. If that one's out now, it'll be right here on the screen. Thanks for watching and liking, and happy gaming.